Hello and welcome to another episode of Issuer Update. Joining me today is John Deluce, CEO of Abitibi Metals Corp. John, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So let's kick things off with a quick introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the company.
My name's John Deluce. I'm the founder and CEO of Abitibi Metals. Very excited to be joining you today from our B26 project in the northern Abitibi on the same east-west as Detour next to the historical Selbaie Mine. So we're very excited with one of the drills behind me currently drilling hole 269 wedge 2. So we're very excited. We've been building up to this all year for a really high impact exploration program through the end of the year.
Thanks, John. So let's talk about that big milestone. Abitibi recently completed an earn-in of 50% interest in the B26 deposit, and you're slowly progressing to 80%. That's a huge achievement in a short time. What does this mean for the company?
Yeah, we're very excited about it. We optioned B26 in November of 2023, and just a refresher and to anyone new to the story, B26 is a very exciting opportunity and one that I may not get again in my career, in the fact that this is a large polymetallic deposit focused on copper gold with also zinc and silver that we optioned off of the Quebec government subsidiary SOCAM. So this project, as it had never been in a public company, but we started with a resource of 11.5 million tons. And in 1 year, we grew this to 18.5 million tons. We had a 7-year option to earn 80% of the project, and we completed 50%. We now own, Abitibi owns 50% of the project, and we did that 2.5 years ahead of schedule. So we're very excited about that. And I think what that means for our shareholders and followers of the story is now we have a significant resource that helps underpin our valuation and really the upside of the growth of the resource. And that's why we're excited to be here today. And I'm excited to be on site for the tour. Is really, this is the first large scale expansional program since optioning B26. So this is where we're really looking for that blue sky potential. As I mentioned, we're next to the Selbaie Mine. They produce 53 million tons of polymetallic material over 20 years. So really a world-class asset. And that's what we think that B26 has the potential to be. And that's why we're excited with this larger step-out program. But to your question, we now own 50%. This is a very significant project. Very, very few of these high-grade polymetallics available in the marketplace, which makes us very excited about the opportunity that we have here.
Okay, so let's dive into B26 a little bit more. For those that aren't geologists, give us the big picture. What are these metallic deposits and what makes them so special?
Really, I think how rare these deposits are. Like when we look at the landscape across Canada, when we look at one continuous deposit over 50 million tons, over 2% copper equivalent, there's very, very few of them. And we look at the success of like Foran Mining in Saskatchewan. They were a small company for quite a while until they hit critical mass. Really, the valuation at that point was very exciting. But it shows the torque on these polymetallic deposit. It shows the demand in the marketplace from the majors and what they want to get involved with. And B26 at 18.5 million tons is already in the top 10% worldwide in terms of tonnage of felsic hosted VMS deposits. And the fact that it checks a lot of boxes. It has the copper gold zone. It's a copper focused deposit. Copper is in huge demand. We have massive supply demand supply shortages, especially accelerating through 2030. We have the upside of the gold and silver credits in the deposit. But to put this in perspective, on a gold basis, this is a 2,050,000 ounce gold deposit, a gold equivalent deposit at 3.5 grams. So like this is in the top of the development opportunities in the province of Quebec. But really what it brings the uniqueness of it and how few of these are around, and really that we believe that there's a lot of demand in the marketplace for these types of opportunities.
So you're currently in the middle of your most ambitious drill campaign to date, phase 3, with 20,000 meters planned this year and another 25,000 planned for next year. Can you walk us through what you're targeting in this phase and why the program is so strategic?
So, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first large-scale expansional program since we optioned B26. But what that represents is we are starting with a strike length of roughly 1.5 kilometers that runs along this road that is east-west along the property. But that's already a very large starting footprint, and we've demonstrated mineralization along the western plunge down to about 900 meters vertical. But the strike length of the system that we're testing in this program is 2 kilometers continuous strike length. If we're successful within this drill program, the mineralized expansional boundary that we could outline could represent an upside on the resource, potential upside of up to 70%. So really this ties into Selbaie was an almost 60 million ton deposit. We're at 18.5 million tons today. This is a completely open system. And I think, as I mentioned with you before, if this wasn't owned by the government prior to our involvement, this would have been drilled off before it was ever sold or optioned to us. So again, it shows the uniqueness of the opportunity, but also and tying into our current drill program. We're testing this right across the deposit, taking step outs over 500 meters in additional strike length. So if we're successful in any of these areas, it represents significant upside on the resource. We do have also some grade conversion holes on the western plunge of the deposit. That helps with demonstrating that this has critical mass. This has strong high grade continuity that ties in with our goals of showing how this is an economic development. So really it ties together. How do we show this as a world-class deposit? How do we show that this has clear expansional potential above 30 million tons? And how do we continue to improve the grade of the deposit that helps lead to this being an economic development target?
So let's talk about execution and drilling. So you're not just drilling aggressively, you're also doing it smart. You've adopted direct drilling, in-house ops, and real-time decision making. What kind of advantages does that give you?
Directional drilling is something that allows us to drill our targets with less required meters. As of the last operations update that we had, the drilling that we have already completed or what we have planned, we will be, with the use of directional drilling, we'll be saving at minimum 7,000 meters of drilling. That allows us to get more mileage out of the capital that we raise. And again, look at how do we develop this deposit? How do we expand this deposit at the lowest cost of capital? So we really pride ourselves on trying to drill this as cost efficiently as we can. We're drilling at less than $250 a meter. Our target is to bring that down to 210 by the end of the year. When we look at our competitors in this camp or in the province of Quebec, we operate very cost efficiently. And then that helps us get it more and more meters to increase our chances of hitting that hole that is a real blockbuster that makes a huge difference and can really be a game changer for the company. Because at the end of the day, we look at some of the holes in phase one. We drilled 11.5% copper equivalent over 10.6 meters. That is a world-class intercept. Can we hit a high grade zone that's 40, 50 meters? This project has the potential to deliver that. So again, and also with directional, it allows us to hit our targets within a very high level of precision. That is very important for some of these targets that we're looking to improve the grade within the block model. But also additionally, like if we were to hit a very exciting zone in the drill behind me, we can immediately back up the drill, do a second branch, and then have a follow-up intercept 100 meters away from that starting hole without having to drill the hole again from surface. So it allows us get more mileage out of our capital, improve our precision. But also, you mentioned about our in-house team. So really, one of the things is we identified as we needed to improve at the end of last year is timeliness with delivering results. Because as soon as you're delivering drill results late, the market thinks that they're bad. And in phase two, we had excellent results. But really, how do we build a team that ensures timeliness, that allocates capital as well as we can? And also, if we get a strategic investment from one of the major producers, they want to see the team that's able to deliver an economic project and something that has the potential to be a mine. So we're confident with the leadership of Gary P. and Laurent Estache, new team members. Louis came over from O3 Mining. They were taken over earlier this year by Agnico Eagle. He has the track record of being able to deliver quality feasibility stage projects, and he's joined our team, and we're very excited to have both of them on the team now. But that's allowed us to build a full-time operations team to address all the factors that I've met, and really just again increases our likelihood of success at the project and puts our shareholders in the best position to do that.
Thanks, John. Let's switch gears a little bit. You've mentioned you're fully funded with 18 million in the bank and a path to complete the 80% option. How does that financial strength help you maintain momentum while staying flexible?
Yeah, we're in a great position, and especially right now because just under $18 million. That will allow us to complete our aggressive drill program this year. We're still funded for 25,000 meters next year. We're still budgeted to start Q1 of 2027 with $3 million. And what that allows us to do is right now we're trading at a market cap of around $40 million, leaving an EV of about 22 million. But what that capital allows us to do is be patient, because really we believe that we're in a timing in the market that we're really not getting the appreciation and the true value for what is coming together at B26. So this allows us to weather the storm. We got lots of capital, we got lots of drilling and catalysts to come, and we know the value of what we have at B26. So it allows us when markets are not always rational, and you got to have a good basis of what the value of what you're putting together is, and it allows you to make better decisions with capital, but also be able to weather the storm when the market isn't giving you the correct value for what progress you've made. So that's why we're excited to have the capital. We are confident in our plan, and we're looking forward to delivering through the rest of the year. And as we discussed, still fully funded to continue operations until Q1 2027.
That's great. Now let's take a step back and zoom out a little bit. Why do you believe Abitibi Metals is one of the most compelling copper stories in Canada today?
I think it's one of the most compelling stories in Canada. First, starting with the asset, and an asset that we believe has the potential to be an economic development, be a world-class deposit like the Selbaie Mine, which is 7 kilometers to the northwest of me. And really, we have an asset that is sought after by the majors in an area with good infrastructure. We have a power line that runs through the project, substation within 5 kilometers, all your access. We're an hour from a town. So it's in an area that is very pro mining. We have excellent support of First Nations partners. So really a lot of the roadblocks to this being a development have been met. So again, uniqueness of the asset. We spent a long time looking for what we thought would be a company making asset. We're very excited to land on B26. And that wouldn't be possible without the hard work of SOCAM, which is our government exploration partners. So really, I think we believe that we're close to meeting critical mass with B26 at just under 20 million tons at roughly 2.2% copper equivalent. Great infrastructure, great supportive partners, and a market that you look at Mark Bristow or the other CEOs within the producers, one of the most sought after deposits in the marketplace right now is copper gold, especially in tier one jurisdictions where the development risk is as limited as possible. So really that makes us very excited about B26.
That's great. And continue on the same line. Where do you see Abitibi Metals heading in the next 1 to 3 years?
We believe that we'll be hitting critical mass within that time frame. We're going to be providing updated resources and a PEA. We believe that we are within a short to medium term of being able to attract a strategic investor. We've had quite a lot of interest in the project, again, because of how few of these high grade polymetallics there are in the marketplace. But really, I think one of the key things over the next 1 to 3 years is really continuing to be very good managers of capital and good managers of our cap structure to ensure that we continue to be as well aligned with our shareholders as possible, and to put our shareholders in the best position of success. So that's what we're really excited about. Myself, my family office own almost 30% of the company. So really, we're partnered alongside all of our shareholders and very driven for this to be a success. And I think as well, within 1 to 3 years, it's still a tough junior mining market. We see gold at where it is, we see copper rebounding, but overall, the majors are making a lot of cash. We're starting to see more M&A, but really the juniors are still slower than it should be at these levels. But within the next 1 to 3 years, we see a very, very exciting junior mining market. And we are positioned with the capital, with the asset, with the team to really accelerate when we get that market. So that's what makes us quite excited and really looking forward to what we have in store for the rest of the year.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us on site.
Yeah, beautiful view up here in northern Abitibi.
Absolutely, and great weather today as well. So that was John Deluce, CEO of Abitibi Metals Corp, ticker symbol AMQ on the CSE. Thank you and take care.